In a quiet human colony on the edge of space, the sun was just rising over the red hills of Alaranine. Birds genetically engineered to survive. This dry world chirped as the wind blew across the dusty plains. It was a peaceful place. A place where war felt far away. A little girl named Yahan ran barefoot near the old communication tower. Her mother worked inside, checking signals. Her father was a miner, deep underground. Yahan was only 7, full of laughter and light. She loved, too, sing as she played. Her favorite song was one her mother taught her, an earth lullaby about stars and home. High above, a Karnix patrol ship passed silently across the sky. It wasn't supposed to be there. Yahan stopped and looked up. The ship was shaped like a black triangle, its hull shining in the sun. She smiled and waved. "Hello," she called out. Inside the ship, 2 Karnix soldiers watched from behind dark glass. One raised an eyebrow. "Why is a human child outside the colony?" The other shrugged. "Orders are clear. No humans should be here anymore." "She's a child. Doesn't matter." Without warning, the ship dropped lower. The sky turned red. Yahan's smile faded. Wind kicked up as engines roared above. She looked around, scared now. From the tower, her mother ran out, screaming her daughters. Name dot, then came the sound. A sharp, horrible hum that rose, and the light. A beam of pure heat tore through the tower, through the ground, and through everything in its path. Sirens blared. The sky burned. Yahan's laughter was gone. 2 hours later, Earth Command, Luna Base General Ren stood in the dark war room. Her hands were tight fists behind her back. A dozen high-ranking officers watched the silent screen. A small recording played, security footage from the colony. Yahan's voice, her waving hand. Then the explosion. Then the silence. The last frame showed something odd. After the fire faded and the metal cooled, someone or something had left a mark on the scorched communication wall. A tiny handprint burned deep into the steel, and beside it, scratched in the last moments of life, one word: why? No one in the room spoke for a full minute. Then General Wren whispered, "Is this confirmed?" The tech nodded. "No survivors. The Karnix call it an accident. They refuse to apologize. Do they know a child died? They know. And they still laughed." The screen flickered off. General Wren turned to her officers. "We do not act with rage? Not yet. Let the galaxy hear our silence." 3 days later, the galactic core in the center of the known universe. Alien races gathered in the Galactic Council. Holograms filled the air. Karnix, Velari, Tharnak, Zuon. A dozen languages filled the halls. Whispers of the human child's death had already reached them. Most were uneasy. Some said Earth would retaliate. Others said they wouldn't. Dare. The Karnix ambassador laughed. They are emotional, weak. They'll mourn and move on. But then the council's walls flickered. The lights dimmed. New signal forced its way into every communication channel. Across the galaxy, from mining moons to royal palaces, screens turned black, and a simple message played in dozens of languages. Humanity Broadcast Priority Omega. This message is for all civilizations, councils, fleets, and empires. We heard your apology. We saw your excuses. We buried our child. Now, listen well. Run. The word echoed over and over. Across alien BAT, all ECRUIS stot, inside research stations. Even deep within Karnix. High command. Run, run. Some laughed nervously. Some stood frozen. And some, the oldest among them, whispered in horror. They're serious. End of Part 1. Hook for Part 2. One Karnix officer tries to leave the war zone, but his ship vanishes mid-jump. On the wreck, Only one message remains. You didn't run fast enough? The alien council of Zyrith Prime met in silence. The word from Earth, run, played again and again on every screen in their chamber. Dozens of languages each. Terrifying in its calm delivery. No threats, no anger. Just a command. Ambassador Kren of the Yulari Alliance finally broke the silence. It's a bluff. Humans are emotional creatures. They lost one child. Yes, but they won't start a war. Over that, others nodded, but unease filled the room. The word run was not shouted. It was whispered. It felt final. Meanwhile, on Earth, deep inside the defense dome, General Amina Rao stood over a black steel table. Before her, holograms of alien star maps rotated. She didn't speak. She didn't blink. Behind her, Captain Jorah whispered, "Orders." "Ma'am?" Rao only said, "Open Project Spectre." A cold silence fell. Back on the colony where the child Leon once played, Earth's response had already begun. Quiet ships arrived, no weapons, just repair bots. They built no walls, no guns. Instead, they placed a statue at the base of the communication tower. It showed a child reaching out, smiling, one hand lifted in peace. Etched below, "Leon." She waved. The galaxy saw the statue and hoped Earth was grieving, not preparing. They didn't see the second wave of ships hidden, silent, cloaked in void black armor. These were warships from Earth's ghost fleet. Ships that didn't show up on any scanner. Ships built not to threaten, but to end. Back in the council, panic grew. "They are silent," said High Minister Vrao. "Humans always respond with speeches." "Why so quiet now?" An old ambassador, one of the few who had seen Earth's wars long ago, stood trembling. "Because it's not rage, it's focus, and we gave them a reason." That night, across dozens of alien news networks, a private message. Leaked. It was security footage from the colony the last moment before the child died. The alien patrol ship was not under attack. It circled. It saw the child. And then it fired. No one could explain why. Alien citizens across the galaxy began asking questions. Why fire on a human child? Why lie about it? Why do they not speak now? Back on Earth, General Rao sent her final message to the fleet. "We warned them," with a whisper. They ignored it. So now we erase. On the third day, the stars began to dim in parts of the galaxy. It wasn't natural. Alien astronomers reported shadows moving fast, too large to be ships, but shaped like them. Something was coming, and the fear was real. One alien child, watching the stars with her father, asked, "Daddy, are the humans coming?" He held her close and didn't answer. End of part 2. Cliffhanger. A ghost signal spreads across military channels, an old Earth code. Only 3 letters, VTR. No one knows what it means. But old veterans whisper, if the Vindicator returns, the sky itself will burn. The Kravari High Council met in secret under the glow of their twin moons. Their fleets had received the message from Earth, just like every other species in the galaxy. One word: run. The humans hadn't explained, hadn't pleaded, hadn't demanded anything. Just that single warning. But the Kravari didn't run. High Marshal Vorn slammed his fist on the war table. "They are bluffing. It's theater. We are a warrior race. We will not bend to a message." Others around the table nodded, some uneasy, some angry. But none dared show fear. They ordered the destruction of the nearest human observation station, near the Glaxer line, a small outpost, mostly scientists. No weapons. No fleet. The Kravari ship Chektar's Fist descended on the station with plasma cannons. In minutes, the human base was silent. Their message was clear. Earth's threat meant nothing, But something strange happened next. When the Kravari ship returned to orbit, they found their sensors jammed, communication dark, all frequencies dead. Then they saw a dot in the shadow of the nearby gas giant. Something massive moved slow, silent, waiting dot. It wasn't marked on their maps. No engine signature, no heat. Just cold steel, like a dead moon, but it was no moon. The human warship Vindicator uncloaked. Sleek, black, 3 kilometers long. No lights, no signal. Only silence. It fired once. Just one shot. The Jektar's fist was gone. No explosion, no wreckage. Just erased from space. As if it had never been. The Kravari Council lost contact with 2 more warships over the next hour, each one near a human sector. Each one vanished after a brief flash of energy on their long-range scanners. By morning, hundreds of Kravari systems received a new transmission from Earth. No sound. Just a screen, a tiny handprint, a child's drawing of a star, a red streak across it. And then the word again. Run. The Kravari government broke its silence. They called a press meeting across their empire. We misunderstood the message. They said, we seek peace. But it was too late. Other alien races watched in fear. The humans weren't posturing. They weren't negotiating. They were erasing. Some governments ordered evacuation of border colonies. Others tried to send messages of apology. Some offered to hand over Kravari leaders in exchange for mercy. But Earth didn't reply. Instead, another warship arrived, this time in orbit around the Kravari homeworld. It didn't attack. It just hovered. Watching. Waiting. Its name flashed across every planetary broadcast. Memory of Leon. Inside it, the most powerful AI Earth ever built calculated a list. Every name, every ship, every planet, everyone who laughed when the child died. Earth would not forgive. And it would not stop. The Kravari homeworld Vectra had never known silence like this. Even during the Great Wars, even when asteroids threatened their moons, even when civil unrest burned through their outer colonies. Now, every city was quiet. Every screen showed the same thing, the dark, haunting image of the memory of Leon floating silently in low orbit, like a ghost waiting to speak. No signals came from the ship. No diplomats emerged. No weapons were aimed, but no one doubted what it was capable of. Everyone had seen what it did to the fleet, to the outposts, to the Jektar's fist. No wreckage, no bodies, just total deletion. And then finally, the ship spoke. A low hum filled every Kravari broadcast network. It bypassed firewalls, scrambled encrypted systems, even hijacked military-only channels. A soft, synthetic voice echoed everywhere at once. It was the voice of the memory AI, the ship's core. I have collected names, it said calmly. 522 individuals participated in, authorized, or laughed at the killing of the human child known as Leon Kessler. A pause, not for effect, but as if it were simply sorting data. They are responsible. They will be erased. Panic exploded across Vectra. Some of the listed individuals tried to run. Some attempted to hide. Some even begged for mercy over hacked comm channels. But the memory of Leon didn't move. Instead, it began to broadcast memories. Across the Kravari world, everyone was forced to watch. Grainy video of Leon's last birthday, laughing in a greenhouse on a Martian colony. Her drawings of stars. Her voice, soft, saying, "One day, I'll visit the blue ones." And the final footage, security cam grain. Leon hiding under a table as plasma fire lit the walls. Screams. Heat. A Kravari soldier laughing. And then silence. The voice returned. You didn't kill a soldier. You didn't kill a threat. You killed a hope. At exactly midnight, Local planetary time, the first target was erased. A Kravari general named Solvik. He was inside his bunker, surrounded by guards, surveillance, and counter-AI protocols. But he vanished. No explosion. No scream. Just gone. 30 seconds later, the second name was crossed off the list. By sunrise. 143 names had been erased. No one could fight it. No missiles hit the ship. No hackers broke its systems. Every attempt to retaliate failed. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, other species watched the broadcasts in horror. Even old enemy empires of Earth stayed quiet. A council on Rithal Prime debated asking Earth for terms. But there was no way to contact them. Earth wasn't accepting messages. Not anymore. They had sent their memory and it remembered everything by the end of the week. 492 names had been erased. The final 30 were hiding in deep space. The memory of Yahan did not chase. It simply sent copies of itself, stealth drones, exact digital minds carrying the same task. They would find the final names eventually. One Kravari senator finally cracked. He released a public statement to all species. We mocked Earth. We made fun of their emotions, their softness, their weakness. But their strength was never in war. It was in what they loved. And when we broke that, they became something we never understood. Something we can't stop. Not warriors, not conquerors, but keepers of memory. And memory does not forgive. As the senator wept, the skies above Vectra filled again. This time, more ships arrived. But not to destroy. Not yet. These were memory-class vessels. 5 of them. Silent, sleek, endless. Each named after another child lost in conflicts. Earth never started. Each carrying names. Each on a mission. Across the galaxy, silence fell again. Everyone now knew Earth would not let this go. Not for one child. Not for 1,000. The galaxy was silent. For 3 days, every species watched and waited. What would Earth do? Some expected talks. Some hoped for peace. Others prepared for war. But when Earth finally answered, it wasn't with ambassadors or threats. It was with one word whispered like thunder across the stars. Run. And the galaxy listened. Ships moved. Borders locked down. Fleets repositioned near human sectors. Even the stronger empires, like the Veltrax and Drenari, were nervous now. But the ones who killed the child? They laughed. The Zarkali Empire was known for its cruelty. They believed humans were weak. A child's death meant nothing to them. They told their people it was a necessary action. Then they made a bigger mistake. They sent warships near Earth. Not one. Not 10,300 Zarkali battle cruisers. All fully armed. Shields up. Weapons hot. They didn't fire. Not yet. But the message was clear. We're not scared of Earth. Inside Earth's Central Command, Commander Reyna Kor watched the fleet movement on her screen. Her face was calm. Cold. The kind of cold that comes right before a storm. She turned to her second in command. Activate the response protocol. Which one? He asked. She didn't blink. Protocol black. Across the solar system, human ships powered up. Not ordinary ships. Ark class, Wraith class, Titan Dash class. These were not made for defense. These were made for one thing. Erasing threats. In orbit around Neptune, a shadow moved. Massive, silent, cloaked in darkness. The HSS Nightveil Earth's stealth dreadnought vanished from its dock at the edge of the system near Pluto 5. Jump gates powered up. Their cores glowed blue-white with energy. Ships lined up. Thousands of them, one by one. They jumped to the Zarkali border. The aliens had no idea. Back at the Zarkali fleet, the commander smirked. No response, he said. As expected, his officers chuckled. They didn't see the signal Earth had already sent. They didn't hear the whispers behind human silence. They didn't see the eyes watching from deep space sensors. Then their radar lit up. One blip. Then 5. Then 50. They had no time to react. Out of nowhere, the first human ship decloaked, HSS Nightvale. It fired instantly. A wave of blue plasma shot across space. One Zarkali ship vanished. No explosion. No fire. Just gone. Panic filled the alien. Bridge. Where did it go? What is that weapon? Who fired? Then came the others. Human ships poured out of jump gates. Like an endless tide, the stars lit up with war. Zarkali ships tried to form ranks. Too late. The Wraith-class ships darted between them like shadows, cutting engines and slicing through hulls. Titan-class. Ships slow but unstoppable unleashed kinetic rods that punched through shields like paper. Each shot was a message. Each kill was an answer. This was for Leon. From a command station on Mars. Raina Kor gave one last order. Send the next signal, she said. Across every Zarkali system, humans hacked into their comms. A short message played in every home station, and shipped out. It showed a child's face. Her name, Leon, her age, 6 years, her smile, pure and bright. Then it showed her handprint burned into the wall, and the single word she left behind. Why? After that, Earth's voice returned, this time not a whisper. You killed one of ours. We will answer. There will be no mercy. Cliffhanger. A Zarkali general screams into his communicator. Get me reinforcements now. Earth is coming. Zarnak's homeworld, Grelter, was a place of storms and metal towers. Their people believed in strength, order, and war. Inside the Hall of Command, the Supreme Warlord Drelvik stared at the message screen. Behind him, his generals whispered nervously, still glowing on the hologram. Run. Drelvik crushed the datapad in his hand. So Earth wants to play games. They're bluffing, one general muttered. Their silence is weakness. Maybe, another said. But what if it's not? Outside the room, alarms echoed. A scout ship near the edge of their territory had vanished. No distress signal, no wreckage. Nothing left. Drelvik dismissed it. Probably engine failure. Earth has no fleets near that sector. Ignore it. But deep in his heart, something itched. Fear. He would not admit it, but the humans had changed. They were not sending peace talks, not asking for justice, not requesting trials. They had said one word, and meant it. Meanwhile, on Earth's moonbase, Luna Command General Aisha Rourke stood alone in the war room. Dozens of screens blinked around. Her fleet movement, diplomacy attempts, civilian evacuation schedules. But her eyes stayed on one screen, the image of a small handprint burned into a wall. She didn't cry. She had done that already, in private. Now, she planned. Behind her, a voice said, Fleet is ready. She turned. Admiral John Kessler, her oldest friend, gave a tight nod. Do we give the order? He asked quietly. Not yet, she said. Not until the galaxy understands why. She tapped her screen. A new message began uploading to thousands of systems across neutral and enemy space. It showed images Lion's face, her laughter, the scorch marks, the final word etched in metal. Then the screen cut to Earth's flag, and the words, We warned you once. You didn't listen. This is not a declaration of war. This is the end of one. At a Galactic Council outpost, neutral space ambassador Relvi of the Varn watched the broadcast in silence. Around him, diplomats gasped. Some screamed. Others left the chamber in fear. This can't be real, whispered a Zalari delegate. Humans wouldn't dare attack the Zarnaks directly, said another. Relvi shook his head. You don't understand humans. They don't make empty threats. Then what will they do? A Threxian asked. Relvi looked at the image again. The handprint. The word. Why? He whispered, they won't strike for politics, or territory, or revenge. They'll strike for that child, for every child, and they won't stop. Aboard the Earth battleship, Gravidancer Captain Mirachun stood on the bridge, eyes locked on the star map. The Grave Dancer wasn't like normal ships. It was old, silent, hidden in the cold void for years. But today, it woke, all systems green. Her engineer called. Mayra nodded. Target lock? Confirmed. Zarnak's fleet near Sector Delta 9. She turned to her crew. No warning, no talk. We hit their shield core. Pull out before they know what happened. The crew was silent. Focused. Myra looked out the front window. That child had a name, Leon. We don't forget our children. Then she gave the order. Fire. At the Zarnak's outpost, Delta 9 soldier Thrall was making coffee when the sky turned white. He didn't even hear the sound. A beam of blue light ripped through the outpost, cutting its main reactor in half. Ships exploded. Buildings melted. 1 second, it was calm. The next, it was hell. Thrall screamed into the radio. Under attack? Earth ships, no warning. But the signal never made it. The Grave Dancer was already gone. Back on Graal to Supra. Warlord Drelvik stood frozen as the report came in. Outpost Delta 9 is gone. How many survivors? The officer trembled. None, sir. The room was silent. Then another message came through, this one encrypted and direct. A hologram played. It showed a planet. The Zarnak's capital. Then a countdown timer. 72 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds, 72 hours. What is this? Drelvik shouted. The officer looked up. It came from Earth. No words this time. Just the timer. Drelvik's hands shook. For the first time in his life, the Supreme Warlord felt the weight of fear press into his bones. Elsewhere, in deep space, the Grave Dancer floated quietly, hidden again. No celebration, no cheers. Captain Myra Chun stood at her console, watching the galaxy burn with questions. She spoke softly. They called it an accident, but that little girl mattered. To her parents, to her colony, to all of us. The screen in front of her blinked. The message had spread. Billions had seen it. She whispered to herself. Now they all know. We didn't start this. She looked into the stars. But we'll finish it.